Welcome back on the program. If you are a parent, one thing that you do know that since you were a child, raising your child and the surroundings have vastly and drastically changed because of the fact that technology advancements have taken place and the learning landscape for children has dramatically changed as well. Studies show that things like smartphones, things like tablets, things like your iPad or your iPhone or your accessories that you use to make your daily life better can help young children from ages 3 upwards to around 8 help them better learn, right? Now, if you are a parent, one thing that you are probably concerned about is the fact that the rays that are emitted by these smart technology can affect your child, or that they might get used to things which are ill or adverse towards their growing up. But research from the Wisconsin University in the United States show that interactive screens makes it more real for students, or makes it more real for children to learn from, as opposed to them learning from a book or so on. And it makes it better for their learning. So if you are a parent, the message is this: buy your child a tablet or an iPad. No, that really isn't the message, but the message is interactive learning is better, and if you have a means or a way of letting them or giving them an opportunity to play around with them on a careful location with your guidance, then do so, because research shows that it's better for them to learn on an interactive landscape. What they say is that Society for Research in Child Development found that children aged between 2 and 3 were more likely to respond to video screens that prompted children to touch them than a video screen that demanded no interaction. So interactive learning is the buzzword around. Interactive learning is what you need to get your child into, regardless of how you get involved. It really doesn't matter. But make sure that it's under parental supervision and parental guidance, because you don't want your child really throwing your 90,000 rupee iPad around or your 60,000 rupee phone around. That might be a costly way of getting your child to learn. So be aware, but at the same time, make sure that they interactively learn. Since we are on the subject of children, since we are on the subject of children who are aged between 3 and 8, one extremely disturbing news that came out last week was the fact that in the aftermath of the abuse that was daunted upon individuals in India by a group of individuals, this time around there was a 5-year-old child who was abused by a 25-year-old man. She was locked up in a room and kept by this individual, and the man was eventually arrested yesterday or 2 days ago actually in the Bihar state, 1,000 kilometers away from New Delhi. It's disturbing news. I hope the authorities take the necessary action, because at the end of the day it is a child, and it's unnecessary and it's uncalled for to have things like this happening in the world today. Righty, we have some news from the sporting arena. Tiger Woods is in the news again. He was not in the news for all the right reasons a couple of years ago, or last year, I'm not sure which. It was last year actually, but this time around he's in the news for his sporting capabilities. Let's take a look at that one and be back on Good Morning Sri Lanka.
Tiger Woods avoided possible disqualification from the Masters on Saturday when he assessed a 2-stroke penalty for taking an improper drop during Friday's second round. The American world number 1, a hot favourite at Augusta National, where he's a 4-time champion, earned his reprieve after being reviewed by officials for a penalty drop he took part at the par 5 15th. Woods suffered a freakish bounce with his third shot at the hole when his approach struck the flagstick before ricocheting backwards off the green and then down the slope into Rice Creek. Instead of going to the drop area on the far side of the water, he chose to play his fifth shot off the same place as his third, going 2 yards back before getting up and down from there to salvage a bogey 6. Woods finished the second round at 3 under par, but his score was changed to 1 under after the penalty, leaving 5 shots behind halfway leader Jason Day of Australia.
It's not the first time that Tiger Woods was given a penalty for a bad drop, if you know what I mean. Can't get into that one in detail because the last time Tiger Woods had a bad drop, it had 16 other individuals involved in it, along with his wife, who is now his ex-wife. Yeah, Tiger Woods plays hard sometimes. With that, we go from a golfing legend, currently a golfing legend, nevertheless, regardless of his personal life, to former Pakistani ruler Pervez Musharraf, who fled Islamabad High Court a couple of days ago in a speeding vehicle, right? Imagine that. He was the ruler of Pakistan at one point after a judge rejected his bail and ordered his arrest in connection with the alleged decision he made while he was in power to sack senior judges. So at the end of the day, Pervez Musharraf was arrested, and it is a new low for Musharraf because there was a long-standing dramatic event that was happening when it comes to Pervez Musharraf and his self-imposed exile. He came out of that wanting to get back into politics, but now the gentleman is arrested again, so he's not in the news for all the right reasons. But at the end of the day, he was the ruler of a country, a man of great stature, a man who made sure that Pakistan during difficult times and led Pakistan during difficult times. But it's sad to see that he is now in the news because he was arrested. Righty, from that to another news story that we need to go into. Individuals who are dressed in ghostly attire posed as demons and blessed and seek the blessing of Lord Shiva, right? It is regarded that if you participate in this parade and dressed in ghostly attires, dressed in red, dressed in all sorts of things that you and I would call weird, you will have the blessings of the gods. We have a little clip of that one. It will be a very colorful clip, so take a look at that and we'll be back.
Dressed in ghostly attires, hundreds of devotees pose as demons to seek blessing of Hindu Lord Shiva in Thamar of India's eastern state of Jharkhand on Friday. Scores of devotees of Lord Shiva donned ghostly outfits and scary makeup and danced to drum beats as they participated in the marriage procession of the revered Hindu deity. Donning masks and bloody shirts, the devotees danced with staves to mark the annual parade that takes place in the town as locals watch them in sheer amazement from the roadsides. Legend has it that devotees who participate in the age-old practice not only get their wishes fulfilled, Lord Shiva blesses them with a healthy and prosperous life. It is an ancient belief that anyone who participates in the parade dressed as ghosts get their wishes fulfilled. Locals participate in this event with great fervor and participate in Lord Shiva's marriage procession. While a section of the devotees posed as demons, the rest of them wore fragrant floral jewelry to pretend as gods who participated in the marriage procession of Hindu deities Lord Shiva and his consort Parvati. The marriage procession of Lord Shiva comprised both demons and gods, so we had dressed up as Dev to impress the deity. Hundreds of devotees gather each year by the sides of a river flowing through the town from where the parade commences. Devotees dance their way to the ancient temple dedicated to Lord Shiva where the parade culminates. The event is also popularly known as Koka Festival and draws devotees from nearby villages as well.
The belief is that if you dressed up in ghostly costumes and took part in the parade, you will be blessed by the gods, and also that you will have a prosperous life. People around the world have different beliefs, and that's what makes this wonderful world a beautiful and colorful place to live in, because there are so many different cultures, there are so many different religions who believe in different things, and we as individuals have to open ourselves to all these cultures, to learn about them, to understand them, and to live in unity amidst these differences, because these differences make it wonderful to live in, make it wonderful and colorful to enjoy life as well, because assume that it was one of those worlds where everybody had the same culture, everybody had the same beliefs, and everybody basically had the same holidays and the same celebrations. Not a wonderful place to live in, right? Because while these individuals were doing this parade in India, last week, if I'm not mistaken, was another festival in Thailand where they basically celebrate the holidays in Thailand, and the festival is such that anybody who walks on the road gets splattered with water, and all the shops close in Thailand, all the business activities stop except for the huge shopping malls. I had the opportunity to go to Thailand during this time when I was really young, and it was a blast because you can't be walking around the road without a water gun in your hand, and if you're a kid you would love it because you get to use your huge water guns, which are freely available in Thailand for super cheap, and you get to use it on your adults, and it's a wonderful time of the year, right? So the message is that enjoy the different cultures and enjoy what these cultures have to offer, because at the end it doesn't matter where you come from or where you are. It matters what you do and what kind of difference you make in the world. With that philosophical note, we will go down to what NASA has to say. NASA has 3 new top candidates for planets that might be habitable. Just like Earth, it has an atmosphere that is habitable, an environment that is habitable. According to the space agency, the Kepler telescope, they have discovered 3 new planets and the right distance from their parent stars to temperate enough to sustain life. So the message is 3 planets which have the possibility of sustaining life. One is called Kepler 69c. Yes, about 2,000 light years away. It is 70% larger than Earth, which is quite large. What can I compare it to? Can't come up with something that comes to my mind. It orbits the Sun closely. It takes around 242 days to take a trip around the Sun, as opposed to the 365 or 366 that the Earth takes to orbit the Sun. Kepler 62e is the next one. It is around 1,200 light years away, so a bit closer than Kepler 69c, and Kepler 62f, which is 40% larger and takes 267 days to orbit the Sun. So if you are into space and science, these are facts that you can probably look into. Go to the NASA website. They have all these things freely available, and it's interesting to know that there are other worlds out there which can sustain life. And the question is, are there individuals living in these habitable environments or not? We will find out whether it's going to be in the time span where you and I are alive. We don't know, but at the rate that science is progressing, maybe we'll get to know. On that note, let's take a look at this little video clip and come back to the studios.
Scores of musicians, young and old, descended on downtown Lima on Saturday to break a local record for the largest cajon ensemble as part of festivities in honor of the Afro-Peruvian instrument. With the box-shaped percussion instrument on the ready, a large crowd of cajon aficionados slapped their hands in unison against the drum box declared a national patrimony back in 2001 by Peru's National Institute of Culture. Mainly it's a party, and like a party we come here to share, get together and make music through the cajon. Organizers reported a turnout of 1,524 people for the event, smashing last year's local cajon drum record of 1,476 musicians. We managed 1,524 people, while Chosang the number went up. We just passed and they told us there is 1,477 people, and with this we have the record. We had to get more than 1,476, which is last year's record. When they told us there was more than 1,477 people, we were happy, thrilled. The gathering of cajon fans is part of the 6th annual celebrations for the International Peruvian Cajon Festival. The traditional instrument is believed to have originated from the Peruvian coast during the early 19th century, and today can be heard extensively across the country, as well as in Cuban and modern-day flamenco music.
Music and a lot of people playing in unison. It's great to see because it's a celebration, and when it comes to celebrations, Peruvians know how to do it well. Since we are on the subject of music, and I love talking about Justin Bieber,